What if I told you that your greatest asset is not your product, it's your presence? So I used to think that I had to build the perfect product. And once I built the perfect product, the perfect system, the next offer, then success would follow. But I was wrong. See, I learned something powerful. People don't follow products. They follow presence. You can have the right offer, the right price, the right strategy, but if your presence doesn't communicate conviction, nobody feels it. And your energy introduces you before your words ever do. So today we're going to talk about how to stop hiding behind what you sell and start embodying who you are. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Success Spectrum Podcast. I'm your host, Kadeem McLean. Today, I really want to dive into why your presence, not your product, is your greatest competitive advantage in today's noisy world. We'll talk about how authenticity outperforms algorithms, how belief becomes magnetism, and how your energy builds trust faster than your marketing ever could. See, there's a difference between your product and your presence, because a product gets attention, but your presence keeps it. So if you have a seemingly great product, okay, cool, but you're not really present, no one can really feel your presence, then no one's gonna buy. They don't know who's selling it, they don't know who's behind it, and you can't market your way out of an energetic inconsistency. See, people buy belief. Not their belief, they buy your belief. How much do you really believe in this thing? Because if they can smell that you don't believe in it, they're not gonna buy it because you don't even believe in your own product. If you walk into a Nike store and the salesperson's wearing Adidas, you're probably not gonna buy from them. They don't even believe in their own product. So why would they not be wearing Nikes if they believe in Nikes and they're selling Nikes? They're wearing Adidas. I'm probably not buying from them and you're probably not buying from them. They don't believe in their own solution, their own product. I want you to think about this for a second. The people you follow online, if they were to stop showing up consistently, because I'm sure they've been consistent, there's a reason you follow them. If they were to stop showing up, how would that make you feel? Would you buy their next product or solution that they offered? Maybe, maybe not. If they stopped showing up or they showed up here and there, but they maybe show up once every 3 months, you might not really follow them like that anymore. And you may not buy from them like you used to. See, presence communicates certainty. And certainty builds credibility. If they stop showing up, they lose a little bit of the credibility that you have for them. And maybe you don't connect to them the same way. You don't really relate to them like you used to. When you can relate to people, when people can relate to you, when they can feel you, let's say, your presence, your belief, then they will buy from you. But before that, it's not gonna happen. Consistent presence compounds trust, but inconsistent or sporadic visibility, it confuses it. And this is where a lot of us entrepreneurs get stuck. We think we need to be so polished, and I still think of it to this day. So it's something I need to overcome as a perfectionist myself. Get over the polish, right? A lot of us mistake polish for presence. We don't need to be polished, we just need to be present. And oftentimes that authenticity will relate better with people because they know we're human. Hence why I've talked about some of my stories so far, where I'm giving you a little bit of a glimpse into some of my struggles and things that I've dealt with that have gotten me to where I am. Things I'm still dealing with that help me to get to where I am, that I've got to overcome rather to get to a next level, let's say. Because authenticity is louder than perfection, and perfection is a myth. It doesn't exist. And so it's something I always tell myself. So if you're a perfectionist, listen to this again. Perfection is a myth. It does not exist. So stop worrying about being so polished and let's just get present. Let's show up online. Let's show up, make those calls, show up, knock on those doors, whatever it might be, and make sure we are present instead of worrying so much about being polished. Because if we sit there worrying about being perfect and polished, we're never going to release anything. And I heard this from Uncle E, I call him, Eric Thomas, and this was a while back, but perfect, rather, let me rephrase that, it's done is perfect when perfect is not done. So stop worrying about being so perfect. It's not gonna happen. We're not perfect. We are imperfect, all of us. So just show up online. At the end of the day, someone's going to resonate with you. If your business is online, then of course, yeah, show up online. But if you need to knock on doors, call clients, whatever your service or your business is, whichever one relates to your business, but make those calls, show up online, knock on those doors, send those emails, whatever it is you have to do to be present and stop worrying so much about the polish. One thing that will help us to show up instead of worrying so much about the polish is to show up even when we don't feel ready. There's so many times where I don't necessarily feel ready, where I'm just like, okay, let's hit record. And it's a great message. I resonate with it and I want to share it with people because I've lived through it and I know somebody can benefit from it. But I'm like, okay, I think we're good. Let's just hit play. I hit record and I go off, right? I start recording. But if I waited till I felt ready, I probably would have stopped at like episode 5, maybe episode 3, because I didn't necessarily feel ready. However, I'm still here showing up. And yes, I'm talking about the podcast, but in other areas as well. When I wrote the book, I would have stopped writing because I didn't necessarily feel ready. It wouldn't be published. I didn't feel ready to publish it, but I published it anyway because I know there's gems and information in there that can completely change somebody's life. So again, same thing for you. What are you waiting for? When we don't show up, we rob others of the experience, the growth, the leveling up that is supposed to occur for them in their lives and in their lives because we're holding back the information that they need for that growth to happen. We're holding back the solution, the product that they need to reach that next level because we're so focused on being perfect. We will never, ever be perfect. If you have something that is 80% done, a product, a service, a solution, whatever it might be, and you keep going back to it to want to tweak it and try to make it 100%, it's not going to get to 100%. Once it's at 80%, you can release it in some way, shape, or form to get that extra 20%, because that extra 20%, a lot of it might be the customer feedback. You're trying to build something thinking that you know what they want, but you might only know 80% of what they want and need. That extra 20%, you need the feedback from them to say, okay, that's something I never thought of. Let me tweak my solution to add that extra piece in, and now it's going to help people even more so. But if you didn't release it at 80% when it was not perfect or complete, then it's not gonna help anybody. No one's going to be able to get or purchase or buy that solution. And a part of this is letting your beliefs drive your visibility. Because again, if you believe that this thing is going to help people, and I know it can with just the information I put in it, okay, great. Then why are we not releasing it? If you are in alignment with your values and the things you've gone through, the things you put into this book as an example, is going to help people to get from where they are or where you were to where they want to be and where you are now, then what are we waiting for? Why are we holding back this solution? As a subscriber to this podcast or a listener to this podcast, I want to give you $30. How am I going to do that? Enter Rakuten. Rakuten is a platform where you can find deals of the week. And on here, it doesn't matter if you're looking for clothes, doesn't matter if you're looking for electronics, services, food, you can get cash back. $30 cash back, rather 30%. 20%, 4%. You can get Dyson Yeti. I know a lot of us need to file our taxes. Those of us who are late, you can use Intuit TurboTax to file your taxes. Ancestry. There are deals upon deals on here. And here's how it's going to work. I refer you. You click the link in the description. You spend $30 on this platform. Guess what? We both get $30 back. Sounds like a win-win deal, doesn't it? Go ahead and click that link in the description and get yourself your $30. I don't know if I said it, so I'm going to backtrack a second. These are some ways in how you can cultivate a magnetic presence. I talked about showing up consistently. I talked about anchoring in your values and letting your beliefs drive your visibility. Another point to this is speak from embodiment, not theory. I mentioned it, but I'm going to be more precise here. Share what you've lived through. People resonate more with what you've been through because they can relate to your life. They can relate to who you are, right? Again, I used to think I had to be perfect. I didn't want to come online. I didn't want to start my podcast. I didn't want to do my reels and all that because I didn't necessarily think it would help anybody per se, because I wasn't, even still, I'm hesitant to share some things about my life, let's say, to be straight up and honest, but I know at the same time it can provide value. When I'm speaking in rooms, in front of people, when I'm speaking on Zoom calls, I share it. But on this platform, for some reason, I don't share all of it. And that's my fault. I apologize to you for that. I need to share more of it, though I've been sharing little bits, right? So again, share what you've lived through, not what you've experienced secondhand, because that will resonate with people and allow them to relate to you more. If you know that I've gone through something similar to what you've been through, then we probably have some type of connection there and you can relate to me a little bit more, or you may want to listen a little bit more. And I want to reiterate this, your tone, your posture, and your peace all communicate more than your words do. Your tone, your posture, right, and your peace all communicate more than your words do. Are you present? Because that is one of the big difference makers with this. It doesn't matter what your product or solution is. I don't even care about that if when I look at you, I don't see your belief. Even though I didn't necessarily feel like I was ready to release the book, so many people have come to me already and have told me how much they appreciate it, and they've congratulated me and they say, oh, like it's a great book and so on and so forth, because they valued it. right? Your audience connects more with progress than they do polish. They resonate with it. So when I released the book, even though I told myself, no, there's still a bunch of things I want to add into this and so on, at the same time, if I did add all those things into it, the book would have been too long and most people wouldn't have picked it up because not many people want to read a huge book. I made it a shorter book on purpose, but I put a lot of information in there. And even the information I did put in there, some of it goes above people's heads. So if I were to add more into it and reach for that 100% completion, it would have done me a disservice, let's say. And it would have been a disservice to my clients, my customers. So again, let them connect with you because they connect more with progress than they do polish. One thing that is big on social media, and again, I'm guilty of not doing enough of this, is documenting your journey because that builds relatability, as I kind of talked about earlier. People see what you're going through, what you have gone through. They see that you're not this perfect, well put together human being because nobody is. We all have ups, we all have downs, we all have trials and tribulations. And I don't ever want to make it seem like I don't. I do. Hence why I've said something similar to that on here many times. And I share some of those things. However, when people can connect with you and they see that you're going through some challenges and tribulations, you've got a full day of work just like anybody else, and the things outside of work, personal things, just like anybody else, they can relate to you more. You don't need to perform to attract other people. You just need to project your belief. I believe in the information I have. I believe in the experiences I've had in entrepreneurship and beyond over the last 10 plus years. I put some of it into the book, mostly about finances, but I've been working this thing and doing this thing for so long that I know. And not only that, but I've helped hundreds of people to move forward in their business. Over the course of 10 plus years, I've helped hundreds, if not thousands of people to build a business and change their way of thinking for the better and to reach towards their goals. So I know without a shadow of a doubt that with the information I have, the book I released, the consultations that I do, it helps people. And I believe it to the core of my being. I do it for a reason. I am a coach. It's who I am. It's what I do. And not only for the past 10 years, but before that, I have been coaching. And so I know it. I believe it. And nobody can tell me any different. Do you have that same level of conviction in what you're doing and what you're building? Because if you do not, sit back, listen to that last episode I just released last week, episode 70, and get aligned, double check it. And if you're not certain, talk to the people in your circle, the people who, how can I put this? You've connected with in more recent years who you have a good connection with, because they can see you authentically and say, yeah, I think you're great at this. Or maybe, yeah, but here's some tweaks we can make. And listen to that feedback. Don't take it as gold, but listen to it and see if there are adjustments that you can make. Because without that level of belief, it is going to be difficult to build your business. I remember sitting in front of clients when I was mainly doing the financial business face-to-face before the pandemic. And I would often tell people, my trainees, listen, if you don't show this level of belief in your own solution and products, then how do you expect the customer sitting across the table from you to understand the value of this thing and to believe in it themselves when they can see the lack of belief in you? It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. So do you have that level of belief in your own solution, your own product? And that speaks directly to your presence, to your essence. But here's the thing, we want to backtrack a little bit, because the main question I really have for you today is, if you were to remove every product, every service, and every system that you've built, what would your presence still communicate? What would people think or feel when they see you, when they hear you, when they read your book? Well, that would be a product. But when they see you, when they hear you, and you're present, what would your presence really speak to them? What would it say? Because when your presence embodies your purpose, your offers become an expression, not a performance. It speaks directly to who you are and who you're aiming to help and what you're aiming to accomplish. So if you're ready to develop the mindset, alignment, and presence that attracts success effortlessly, go ahead and click that link in the description and join the free community. It's free for now and it's open for now, but the Freedom Hub community on Facebook is where entrepreneurs like you learn how to master self, serve with confidence, and lead with purpose. Appreciate you for stopping by and listening. I know this was valuable for you. Share it out with somebody who you know can benefit from it as well. Kadeem here, and I'll see you on the next one.